Mari Williams, that grab, I mean, you got to think about it. This kid was converted over to a tight end. This kid in high school was playing defensive end. And
Both
then
ways.
both ways. But now full on, tight end, and look at the grab that he's able to make, and was over two defenders. Like that's not an easy grab to have, and never saw that from Kyle Morlock. He was actually, Landon Thomas was the top rated PFF freshman with a 75 rating from this last Saturday. So, that's Landon Thomas, and there's two tight ends that have a strong future, it seems like, if they can connect well with Brock Glenn.
Well, there's also two tight ends that have more career touchdowns than Kyle Morlock, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, it's tough scenes for Morlock right now. Obviously with the drop issues, and then like you said, Austin, Landon Thomas, first career catch, goes for a touchdown. Mari Williams, first career catch, goes for a touchdown. And Kyle Morlock, I think we're up to 20 games at FSU without a touchdown reception. So, I mean, that's just kind of insult to injury. But, man, Amari Williams, yeah, that was a heck of a grab there in the game. And at first I was looking at that, I was like, who just caught that pass? I looked over at Tommy. And, it ended up being Amari. So that was good for him, especially, we kind of talked about last week him getting into the SMU game and then the pick six, and he was kind of low from there on the way back. But I thought in this game, he only had that one catch. But when he was out there, he was really putting in a lot of effort. And, the thing with Landon Thomas and Amari Williams is that they're just so young in their development and just getting here to the college level that as far as the blocking aspect, it's going to take them some time. But as receivers, they can make splash plays immediately. Landon this game leads the team in receiving, 7 catches for 80 yards, building on top of that performance that we saw against SMU where he scores his first career touchdown. So it seems like both of these guys are moving in the right direction at the moment. And Amari Williams, scores that touchdown against Clemson, and he comes out today on Tuesday and is the star of this practice. I mean, all over the place, jaw-dropping, one-handed catches, deep touchdown catches, contested stuff on the sideline. He was the best player on the field on Tuesday by a mile. I thought he was outstanding. And you just really see that potential. And we got to speak to Amari after practice. And, he said that he's still working some at defensive end during these Sunday practices, which today on Tuesday, this was the first time FSU has practiced since the loss to Clemson. So this was kind of a quote unquote Sunday practice. So we got to see him work a little bit on the defensive side of the ball and one-on-ones early in the day. And then he comes out and does all of that at tight end on the offensive side of the ball. He kind of joked a little bit, and he said he's going to be the next Travis Hunter after practice, playing both ways. We'll see how it goes, because it seems like Florida State, they believe that he does have a future at defensive end. But, I mean, man, with what this kid's doing at tight end, how can you possibly put him over there right now?
Yeah, both of the guys really still have issues getting lined up correctly. You saw it a bunch in the Clemson game where both Amari and Leonard are looking to the sidelines like, I don't know where to be. And then finally they figure it out. But at this point, I'd rather have a freshman
Staff's fault.
I agree with that. I'd rather have a freshman that doesn't know where to be but can catch than have a senior that can't catch and knows where to line up. So they'll learn these things and they'll get better. But at this point, I don't see a reason to not play them.
No, not at all. Let them get out more experience. If they had more experience, and that would help with the lining up and stuff. But you wanted to wait and have Morlock drop his 6th catch to kind of go ahead and try to
Are you sure it's only 6?
But I mean, seriously, if they're able to continue this trajectory right here, we're talking about Florida State looking at a dynamic tight end room in 2025 with Amari Williams and Landon Thomas going into year 2. I mean, remember, Amari just 17 years old, and like Logan said, reclassified to join FSU this year. And he was someone that we talked a lot about in the preseason. He stood out during those preseason practices. And I think even when the first depth chart came out prior to that Georgia Tech game, I was like, man, I'm a little surprised that Amari's not on here somewhere, just because he had been that good. And now you're finally seeing it translate to the field. So the sky is the limit there now for Florida State, a really high ceiling with Landon Thomas and Amari Williams. And if those guys can keep growing in the right direction, it's going to be looking good here for the next couple of years. And currently, we'll see if it sticks to December. You've got 4-star tight end Chase Lofton committed. And, we looked at his highlights back when he pledged to FSU over the summer. he looks like a pretty good receiving threat, someone that could develop into something himself. So, hey, this position, it's looking a lot more fun than it was a couple weeks ago.